Hello everyone, welcome into Above My Pay Grade. My name is Eric. Thanks for tuning in. If you could hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe, really helps out the channel. So, what's scarier to you, COVID or climate change? Both very scary, very ominous. But if you try to put yourself, I would imagine most people that watch this channel aren't that scared of COVID and aren't that scared of climate change. Whether they agree with it or not, they don't think the changing of the temperature on the planet by 1 degree over 300 years is going to make much of a difference. And human ingenuity is going to work its way around that. However, if you put yourself in the mind of people who were scared of COVID and agreed with all of the lockdowns, one, it's not too far of a stretch to think if people think that the climate is so affected by human beings that we are all going to die in the next decade or so, which means it's too far gone, by the way. But if they think that, it is not a stretch in the slightest to think that climate lockdowns are inbound. And based off what's happened in the last 2 years, you don't have to use the imagination too much to assume that they might use actual lockdowns to help with climate change. I got this article here from Capital Exploits on The Hedge, and it talks about Oxford City Council proposing a climate lockdown starting in 2024. It says residents will be confined to their local neighborhood and have to ask for permission to leave to save the planet. Oxfordshire Council yesterday approved the plan to lock residents into one of 6 zones to save the planet from global warming. I think you really need to stop using the phrase global warming. It needs to be climate change, because that's the unfalsifiable premise. If you say global warming and it starts to get colder, then people start to wonder. So you gotta go with climate change. That way, if it's getting warmer, climate change. If it's getting colder, climate change. If we have hurricanes, climate change, blizzards, you get it. I posted on my Instagram the other day 2 news articles that said these severe winters are a sign that climate change is here to stay. And the year prior, in 2021, it said these warm winters are a sign that climate change is here to stay. And I'm open to the science of climate change, like it could be real, and greenhouse gas effect is a real thing. But the any evidence is evidence theory that a lot of climate hysteria uses, not appropriate and not very convincing to me. Okay, so he further writing here, here's where I think the things will get exciting and interesting. Exciting because people are still in a state of denial about reality. This provides an opportunity. That I would agree with. Again, that's why I opened this video with, do you really think it's that much of a stretch? Like, a lot of people think they're doing a good thing by locking people down. And a lot of people think of authoritarianism this way. People who are anti-authoritarian, they think that the people on the opposite side who want to lock people down are in this state of like, yes, we're evil and we're going to lock people down. But the most dangerous people are the ones that think they are doing God's work. They think they're doing something so selfless to lock you down. They think they're actually doing something good. And so they pursue that. They quiet their conscience and they pursue that without thinking critically. And yeah, those are the most dangerous people. So he says, it's interesting, well, because it's intellectually stimulating and we can position ourselves well ahead of what seems to be the inevitable to me in a rain monsoon season, then all the better. So no matter what evidence comes about, climate change hysteria, that's why it's, you need to be careful of unfalsifiable claims, like the anti-racism. It's like, are you racist? No, I'm not. And then when you say you're not, that's even more of a sign that you're actually racist because you don't even see it. Don't you get it? and your average person goes like this, what are you talking about? Same thing with climate change. Hey, have you noticed that the planet is warming? Oh, not really. Have you noticed the planet is cooling? Yeah, climate change. And if it warms again, climate change. We're just going to keep this vicious cycle. I don't know, look into the science yourself, but I don't think, my point of this video is, if you think that the hysteria of COVID and the overreaction of COVID won't be, if those same people think the planet is going to self-implode and everyone on the planet will die if we don't change our behavior, why wouldn't they use lockdowns? It seems like a very natural step if they think in the next, 10 years or so, which, by the way, means that we're too far gone. Might as well live it up, because if you nail these people down and say, okay, so if we don't change our behavior, when does the planet end? When do we stop living on this planet? When does it get too warm or too cold or whatever? If you try to nail them down and they give you a timeline passes, it's like any other cold. It's like, it's science changed, yada, yada, yada. Again, not saying that I don't believe that climate change is real, because human beings obviously can have an effect on the planet. The question is, by how much? See that massive ball of gas above everyone every day, the sun? And to think that wouldn't have more effect than human beings, I think it is a little far-fetched. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. See you all in the next one. Peace.